Yeah, I got my hands on some poison ivy today, and fortunately for me, I had some gloves on. This stuff won't kill you, but it could certainly be a nuisance if it touches your skin. This ticket right here is what the fuss is all about. If you lose this, that's $72 down the drain on a weekend. So a lot of people say that they're leaving their ticket right here inside the car. That way, it's safe from getting lost. The emergence of this park is not just good news for the kids, it's good for the parents as well. And safety is the word here on King Street. Yeah, you know, as you said, I'm right here at 130th Street, and look behind me. We've got some developments here. Here you'll see the biggest boat there is the Coast Guard boat, but what's new are these new blinking boats. They appear to be the dive team. Now, many of the racers I spoke with entered the race out of tradition. Some of them are third or fourth generation racers. Spoke with one racer today who finally took the gloves off this year at 69 years old. As the sun's rays start to fade and this heat wave slowly goes away, people around the Delaware State Fair are starting to sweat a little bit less and are starting to take part in some active activities like this one a little more, something that vendors like this one say is a good thing because people are taking more shots.
Trust me, it went in.
Now, some of the people I spoke to today say that they are now looking for another job because they say that filling up the tank every day at work is becoming a little too expensive. Reporting live in Sussex County, Evan Kozloff, WBOC News, Del Mar. The flood problems for Oak Orchard start right here with this marsh behind me. It collects all of the rainwater from the area. The problem for Bridgeville bikers begins right here with these grains that run parallel to the road. But others, such as this one, go perpendicular to the road. The city says that in the future, they're going to build all grates to match this style. Inside of this foreclosed home on Route 9 in Laurel, you'll see that there are still children's books, dog beds, and many other remnants of when somebody used to live inside this home. In the end, it comes down to a choice between eating and exercising. Right now, I'm sitting on a bicycle. Not as fun as eating a burger, but it gets you way more healthy. Last week, the Mack Center held an event outside of the Salisbury Park, but now 10 to 15 degrees higher. They're playing it safe, and they're spending some time inside. $74 million was spent on this project, and take a look behind me, and you'll see that the foundation for the school is already there. I'm here with Chicken 433. This chicken, as well as 3 others here in Milford, are on the front lines in the battle to fight against West Nile virus. If you've never been to the Cambridge Regatta, then you might not know just how much technology goes into the creation of these boats. Here on my right, you'll see the Jersey Skiff. This boat looks a little bit like a boat you've probably seen before. I rang the doorbell to speak to the people he lived with, but they were at work, just as Montesino's likely would have been. People in this neighborhood are shocked by Montesino's death. They say most shocking of all is that he was not a troublemaker, but he was just a hardworking man who many times walked down these steps as he went to work. Yeah, Karen, this year in Ocean City, there have been more than 2 pedestrian accidents every month. This is better than last year when the city averaged 4 per month, but still officials say they could do better. And that's why they're asking pedestrians to pay attention in order to stay safe this holiday weekend. When the American flags are out and Route 50 looks like this, it could only mean one thing: 4th of July. But the holiday brings more than just celebrations. Officials say it's also the prime season for pedestrian accidents.
These cars, they don't follow the speed limit. They just fly on, right on down. They don't look.
Marcia Stepp says that she's seen some crazy driving on her Ocean City vacation, but adds that it's not all their fault. It's the jaywalkers as well.
I think some of them just play Frogger, and they're just darting out as well. They're not really being responsible themselves.
And she's not wrong. On the OC streets, you'll see all the jaywalking moves. There's the stutter step, the stranded man, and the good old-fashioned car-stopping wave. Ocean City police say that pedestrian accidents are one of the biggest problems they face, one which they've taken action to stop. As of July 2nd, there have been 13 pedestrian accidents, although no fatalities. This compares to last year's number of 24 accidents, including 2 fatalities. Police say that this intersection on the corner of 33rd and Coastal Highway is the most dangerous intersection in the whole city, but they say that you'll be fine as long as you wait till the sign says go and you use a crosswalk.
I mean, those are the risks at the end of the day. You know what you're doing if you decide to jaywalk.
As people enjoy the holiday, police ask that you take your mother's old advice and look both ways before you cross the street. Now, as Ocean City combats jaywalking, Delaware has been battling another concern: drunk driving. The Office of Highway Safety will be setting up checkpoints all month. Yesterday was a checkpoint in Wilmington, and today there's one in Dover. So far this year, there have been more than 2,000 DUI arrests in Delaware. Karen? These insects are called the kudzu bugs. They were first discovered in the U.S. in Atlanta, Georgia, way back in 2009. Since then, they have spread to the Carolinas, to Alabama, Southern Virginia, and now to the first state.
I spoke to some local farmers today and they told me that these bugs can really create havoc on their crops.
They're actually doing good.
Faith Hartman and her husband Mark have been farming for more than 3 decades, so they say that they know their crops and they know their produce. But bugs, they say, have always been a problem on their Laurel farm.
And it don't look like they would do much damage, but they can.
But now, a new insect is causing problems in Sussex County, the kudzu bug.
Normally, we plant pole beans, bush beans, string beans, black-eyed peas. But this year, very few things that we did put out, they're gone.
They're gone because insects like the kudzu bug are invasive species. That means that they eat the produce before it's ready, leaving the plants with holes and the produce unable to grow.
Once you put your time, your money, and your effort into trying to make your crops grow and you lose them, it's heartbreaking.
All over Sussex County, there are farmers worrying about this new pest. Now, it won't affect bigger crops like this one, but if you own lima beans or soybeans or anything like that, you're gonna have some trouble this summer.
I mean, we try to do what we can to keep the bugs away, and so far we haven't found anything that will kill these bugs unless you step on them.
One town south in Delmar, Allie Beach sells produce from a local farm. On display, her boss has cucumbers, tomatoes, squash, and corn. But no lima beans or string beans are out.
If he does sell those, so I mean it could affect his business badly if the bug really affects it.
Sussex County is known as an agriculture area. And if you can't grow, I hate to see what's going to happen in the future.
A loss of produce for the community and a loss of tradition for a county where farming is a way of life. Now, officials from the Delaware Department of Agriculture say that growers should be on alert for these bugs. They say that you should report all infestations and that there are pesticides that can be used to stop these bugs in Sussex County. Back to you, Karen. Yeah, Karen, right here in Salisbury, people are reacting to the decision. They say that while the Trayvon Martin case did not affect their lives directly, the impact is just as important here as in Florida. The Billie Jean Jackson Park in Salisbury is more than 850 miles away from Sanford, Florida, the site where Trayvon Martin was shot last February.
This impacts the whole entire nation.
But in this park, where more than 60 people from the community are gathered, the shooting might as well have been next door.
Things that happened with him should have never happened, but they did, and we just want to make sure that this doesn't happen to another one of our children, which does not just mean black children, it means our children, period.
April Jackson planned the event, a vigil to remember the life of the 17-year-old who lost his life. The event was sponsored by the National Action Network and had many speakers and an audience of all ages. 21-year-old Trey Chapman says that Trayvon, just a few years younger than him, went through something he's seen firsthand.
It's a shame what happened to him. But like they've been saying, it's been happening in our community for a long time, and it needs to stop.
Parents from this area say that this event is all about protecting the youth in the area, such as Cameron right here. Cameron, do you think this is an important event?
Yes.
So there you go. Salisbury youth are the focus here at the Billie Jean Jackson Park.
This is all for the children, absolutely. They are so innocent.
Outside of the park, though, others took a less critical position on the ruling, saying that the loss of life is tragic, but that self-defense should be valid.
Justice has to be blind. You know, you can't go by emotions, you have to go by the law.
But back at Billie Jean Park, people are joining hands in the name of civil rights, hundreds of miles from Sanford. But in Salisbury, the debate is just as strong as anywhere else. Now, many people at the park said that they were pleasantly surprised to see that the community was out in such high numbers. They tell me that they were inspired to come out because of the comments President Obama made yesterday, that it could have been him 35 years ago. Back to you, Karen.